Namaskara. Today's my topic is Kamal Hasan, bullshit asymmetry. Today, I will look into the bullshit statements made by Kamal Hasan regarding the origins of Kannada language, which includes other Dravidian languages also indirectly. In 2013, an engineer named Alberto Bordielli has proposed bullshit asymmetry principle. As you know, any information, opinion, or statement which does not have any base, support, or proof is a bullshit. Any person can lower his or pants and shit into public place. To clean this, entire administration and system is required. Resources required to clean the shit are enormous when compared to the shitting activity. Now, Kamal Hasan has shitted, saying that Kannada has emerged from Tamil. To clean this shit, the entire history, linguistics, and the relation of Dravidian languages and origin of the Dravidian languages has to be brought out in full screen. While Kamal Hasan, who has shitted in the public place, is wandering like a thug. There is no dispute that Tamil is one of the oldest Dravidian languages with rich literature and heritage. But this does not mean that other Dravidian languages are neither younger nor poorer. Since 250 years, Tamilians have carefully built up the narrative that Tamil is the thousands of years ancient than other Dravidian languages. In this view, I will take up the real date of Tolkappiam, which is the crown of Tamil literature and the antiquity today for discussion. Tolkappiam is considered as the first and the most ancient literary work of the Tamil language, as you know. Some enthusiastic Tamilians have also claimed it to be the oldest book of the world. Some linguistic experts fix the date of Tolkappiam between 3rd century before Common Era, that CE, while others to the 5th century of the Common Era. Some other experts have fixed this date to the 10th century of the Common Era. Due to this, the date of the Tolkappiam swings within large time span of 1300 years. Until late 20th century, there was a tendency in Tamil to push back the dating of Tamil literature to thousands of years before Common Era. Due to the advanced studies in linguistics and history, though such enthusiasm has been settled down, still there are attempts to push back the dates of the Tamil literature and history to the antiquity. The dating of Tolkappiam has been done on some historical evidences, some guessings, assumptions, and more on glorifying accounts. The aim of today's talk is to check the basis on which the dating has been done, the authenticity of sources used for it, and ultimately to conclude the date of Tolkappiam to 9th to 10th century of the Common Era. Now we will go to the Tolkappiam. There is no consensus among the experts regarding the meaning of the word Tolkappiam. But more probably, Tolkappiam means Kavya of the far away. Kavya of Sanskrit has been Tamilized to Kappiyam, Kavyam, and Kappyam. Kavya of the past would be the correct meaning of the Tolkappiam. Now we will go to the other ancient literature of the Tamilians. Yettu Tagai, that is 8 anthologies, and Pattupatu, the 10 songs are recognized as the most ancient literature of the Tamil language. These are recognized under the name Sangam literature. We will take up regarding the Sangam literature and its date in other video. Tamil tradition believes that the Sangam literature emerged between 3rd century before Common Era to 3rd century Common Era, spanning 600 years. Tolkappiam is considered as the handbook of the and guidebook of the Sangam literature. But the existence of the book by name Tolkappiam appears first in the commentary written on a previous work called Irayanar Agapparul in the Common Era of 9th or 10th century. After this, legends and stories of Sangam and Tolkappiam start to emerge and woven one after the other. Now we will look into the commentaries of the Tolkappiam. Parazier, which means senior master belonging to 12th or the 13th century of Common Era, has written commentary on Tolkappiam. In his commentary, he informs that some say Tolkappianar has written a grammatical work other than Agatyam, but it is not true. Tolkappianar was one of the disciples of the Agastya, that is all. Nachanar Kinyar, one of the other commentator of the Tolkappiam, belonging to 14th or 15th century of Common Era, informs that the Tolkappiam work was discussed in the court of Nilantarvin Pandya. Many objections were raised by Adam Kottasan, who was the friend of Tolkappiam, and also the disciple of Agastya. But all these objections were answered rightly, and Tolkappiam was honored in the court. As per the commentator, the name Tolkappiam was given to the work, and the introductory poem was written by Panamparana, who was also the friend of Tolkappianar and the disciple of Agastya. Ilampuranar, belonging to 11th and 12th century, known for his commentary on Tolkappiam, has said that disciples of Agastya was Jamadagni, whose son was Trunadhumagni, has written a book which was par with the work of Agastya. Now, Nachanarkinier, Mailainathar, in their commentaries to Tolkappiam, says that there were two more grammatical works named Mahapuranam, that is Mahapurana, and Bhuta Puranam, that is Bhuta Puranam, before Tolkappiam. Nakira, who has written commentary to Irayana Ragappar, mentions about the grammatical work Ichai Nunukam, Adiyanar Nallar has gone further and informed that this was written to teach Tamil to Charukumara Pandya, who was the son of Pandya, Anakulan and Tilottama, his queen. All these things lead to the fact that Tolkappiam has been woven with legends and assumptions and stories. Now we will move on to the style of Tolkappiam. Experts have discussed in depth regarding the style of subject presentation in Tolkappiam and about the elements borrowed from other sources. In Tolkappiam, it has been declared that it would not go into the origin of sounds as stated in the Vedas, but only restrict itself to the pronunciation of the alphabets, varnas, akkarams, eludus. From this, it is clear that the Samskrita, Prakruta grammars, Shiksha principles of Vedas were well known to the author of Tolkappiam. An introductory poem has been written to Tolkappiam. This is called Sirappu Pairam, which means special forward. In this, it has been said that the person by name Tolkappiam has established Aindiram up to the shores of the sea and etched his name in praising songs. By observing this statement, A.C. Bernal has done a deep research and concluded that Tolkappiam resembles to a grammatical work named Katantra, written to Vaidika Pratishakyas and to the polygrammars belonging to the 3rd and 4th century of the Common Era in subject, style, arrangement, and presentation. George Hart, Tamil linguistic expert from USA, who was in the forefront of campaigning to claim classical language tag to Tamil language, has the opinion that Tolkappiam borrows heavily from Sanskrit grammatical works. Tamil linguistics of the Dutch origin, Camille Julabel comes to the conclusion that it is not possible to prove that Tolkappiam was based on any Sanskrit or Prakrita works, but the inner contents of the Tolkappiam firmly establishes that they were well known to the author of the Tolkappiam and recognizes 6 points on which Tolkappiam has borrowed from the Sanskrit works. Tolkappiam and also the commentaries written on it have followed the Aindra system with strict adherence. Samskrita grammar Katantra was written by Sarvavarma in the 3rd to 4th century AD. This treats the grammar subject-wise, same has been followed in Tolkappiam. There is one more interesting twist to this. Nagavarma, who belonged to late 10th century and early 11th century, has written Kavyavalokana in Kannada language. In Shabdasmriti chapter of this book, Nagavarma has boasted himself as Abhinava Sarvavarma, that is, new Sarvavarma. By this, it could be safely said that Katantra was very popular in South India and provided a scheme to write grammatical works. Now, we go to the date of Tolkappiam. Tolkappiam is the most disputed work in the world to fix the date. Its time swings from 20th century before Common Era to 10th century Common Era, covering 30,000 years. Many experts have pointed out that Tolkappiam was not written by a single person, but by many in multiple stages and extended time period. The Sangam literature, which has been dated between 3rd century before Common Era to 3rd century Common Era spanning 600 years, had 473 poets and has a literature of more than 30,000 lines. But nowhere in this literature name of Tolkappiam or existence of any other Tamil grammatical works is mentioned. It is very strange that none of the early Pandyas, who are considered as the great Tamil patrons and lovers of the Tamil language, does not speak anything about the such great work as Tolkappiam. This is the greatest challenge for the conclusion made by Camille Jolabil and Airavata Mahadevan and also George Hart regarding the date of Tolkappiam. Shivaraj Pillai, in his chronology of early Tamilians, boldly declares that Tolkappiam does not belong to the Sangam era. If it has belonged to that era, then it would have not been missed the recognition and honor from the Tamilian kings and Sangam bards. Therefore, Tolkappiam and Kurul, that is Tirukkurul, belongs to the later period. To support his conclusions, Shivraj Pillai has given many internal evidences, but for time being, we will not go to them. This has become catch-22 situation. If Tolkappiam has come after Sangam period, then it does not have any role in the development of the Sangam literature, and it is not the guiding post for it. Instead, it has been written to explain the Sangam literature afterwards. Now we will look into the date of commentaries on Tolkappiam. Between 11th to 18th centuries of Common Era, in span of 700 years, 7 commentaries have been appeared on Tolkappiam. First commentary is Jalam Puranar belonging to the 11th or 12th century. He has written commentaries for all 3 parts of Tolkappiam. That is Eludadikaram, Soladikaram and Upparladikaram. He has been called as Urai Acharya, that is master of commentaries. His commentaries are considered as the best ones in Tamil literature. Now the second commentary belongs to the Parashiyar, who is belonging to the 12th or 13th century of the Common Era. He has written commentary on Praladikaram only. Now, the third commentary is from Senavarayar, belonging to the 13th to 14th century, who has written commentary on Soladikaram only. Now, fourth one comes from the Nachiranar Kenyan, who belongs to the 14th or 15th century of Common Era, who has written commentaries on all Adhikarams of the Tolkappiam. But commentary for Praladikaman is not extant, it is not available now. Devasilayar, belonging to the 16th century, has written commentary for Soladikaram. He is the fifth commentator on Tolkappiam. Kalladanar, belonging to 16th or early 17th century, has written commentary on Soladikaram of the Tolkappiam. And we will now, after looking into these commentaries, we will look into the what other external sources say. Now, let us see what information is available for Tolkappiam from external sources. Inscriptions on stones and copper plates provide more reliable information than literature. Let us look into the information available through the inscriptions and the copper plates. It has been said that discussion on Tolkappiam was held in Nirantarvind Pandya court. Existence of king with that name is not found in any literature, inscriptions, copper plates, or anywhere in the Tamil history. It is very firmly believed that court of Pandyas was the abode to find and execute Tamil literature. But in the large Chinnamanuru copper plates issued by Pandyas in the 10th century declares that Ondamilum, Vadamolium, Poduttaratan Aryanto Panniradal Mentonrium. This is the proud statement of the Pandyas that some earlier Pandya was in the forefront promoting Samskrita and pure Tamil, and also he made Mahabharata to be sung in Tamil and established Sangam in the South Madurai. Dalvaipuram copper plates infers that ancient Pandyans learned Tamil through Agatyam and declares that தென் மதுராபுராஞ்செய்தும் அங்காடியல் அரும் தமிழ் நல் சங்கம் இழித்த தமிழ் வளர்த்தும். Meaning of this is Pandyas established Madurai in the south and thereby also established Sangam or learned assembly for the study of the difficult Tamil and supported the growth of it. These all statements belong to 10th century of the Common Era. The Eluttodikaram of Tolkappiam details the writing system of Tamil language. By searching such writing system in inscriptions on copper plates, the date of Tolkappiam can be decided. In Tamil script, the concept of Pulli has its unique position. Pulli is a dot in the Tamil writing system. The following statements are made in Eludadikaram of the Tolkappiam. Short vowel A and O are derived by placing the Pulli over the long vowels A and O. Pulli within an alphabet is spelled as M. Each consonant is inherited with vowel A. When Pulli is placed over the consonant, it loses its vowel and becomes pure consonant. When each consonant is combined with different vowels, the symbol for that consonant get different ligatures. When two words having vowel at end and starting a first and second word are joined to form single word, then ya or wa replaces those vowels. This is equivalent to ya and wa sandhis in Kannada and other Dravidian languages. Consonant with the sharp vowel comes with aidam, that is 3 pulli or 3 dots. Now, let us look into the hard evidences in background of these Tolkappiam rules for writing Tamil alphabets. The Tamil Brahmi writing system, which spans between 3rd century before Common Era to 3rd century of the Common Era, spanning 600 years, is very different in many ways from Tolkappiam writing system. Among the 12 vowels listed in the Tolkappiam, only 8 vowels A, O are used in Tamil Brahmi scripts. Short vowel E, that is called Kutriyal Ikaram, and short vowel U, which is called Kutriyal Ukaram, and Aidam have not been found either in Tamil Brahmi or Vattelittu scripts of Tamil. Obtaining short vowel A by putting pulli over long vowel A has been found in Tamil Brahmi script belonging to 4th century of the Common Era. Also, for the first time, in 6th century of the Common Era, in Vattelittu script, short vowel O has been derived by placing pulli over long vowel O. I vowel has been written as two separate characters, A and Ya, in all Tamil Brahmi inscriptions belonging to entire time period of their usage. Before 6th century of Common Era, this was the standard practice of writing I. For the first time in 6th century, Vattelittu script of Tirunatham Kundra, I appears as a single word, single character. To derive pure consonant by placing pulli over consonant is first seen in Pallava Mahendravaram's inscriptions belonging to 7th century AD without any controversy. The proportion of conjunctions or Vattaksharas in background of timeline can be summarized like this. Early Tamil Brahmi 16% of conjunctions, later Tamil Brahmi 63% of the conjunctions, early Vatteluttu 87% of the conjunctions. The ratio between 90%, this ratio reaches 90% in Tolkappiam and Sangam literature. Tolkappiam specifies the ya and va sandhi as in Kannada when two words with a vowel at their end and beginning are joined. In one inscription, Elai ya ur has been written without sandhi. Until 6th century of the Common Era, ya or va agama sandhis is not found in any Tamil inscriptions. Now, by looking into all these facts, let us come to some conclusions. Major conclusions which can be drawn from our current discussion can be summarized like this. There is no evidence of work called Tolkappiam in Sangam literature. Tolkappiam follows Indra system and heavily influenced by Sanskrit grammars. The dating of Tolkappiam done until now depended upon the literary sources and legends rather than external facts and sources. Other than Chirappu Pairam, that is the special introduction, there is no external evidence to support that Tolkappiam was discussed and approved in court of Pandyas. Large Chinnamanuru and Dalvaipuram copper plates of 10th century of Pandyas. Pandyas, who were very proud about their patronage to Tamil language, never mentions anything about Tolkappiam but talk about Agatyam. The work Tolkappiam first appears in the commentary written to the Rayana Ragapparul in 9th to 10th century AD. After this, only legends, stories regarding Tolkappiam start to appear. From 11th century onwards, commentaries on Tolkappiam start to appear. The writing system described in Eludadikaram of Tolkappiam does not appear until 7th century of the Common Era. Now we will come to the final conclusion. After achieving uniformity and standardizing the rating system, only Tolkappiam has been written. After 7th century, only such finalization and standardization occurred. To document this, 2 to 3 centuries to be added. Hence, it can be safely concluded that between 9th to 10th century AD, Tolkappiam was written. All commentaries on Tolkappiam appear from 11th century AD is the additional proof for this. In our next episode, let us look into the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions in depth and we will check the so said antiquity of Tamil when compared to other Dravidian languages. Thanks and namaskaram.